Hey everybody, just putting a video together looking at our price break even and projection pages. Now, before I start, some of this is going to have to do with break evens and players making or losing money. Just a word of wisdom to a lot of players, especially new players. A lot of players tend to make their trading decisions based on what a player's break even is. You absolutely don't want to be making trading decisions based on break even. Break evens are elastic. Just because the player's got a low break even doesn't mean they're going to make a lot of money. He can put a couple of low scores up in the next couple of weeks, and that break even just snaps back without having made much money at all. The number you really want to be looking at, whether it's using our own projections or going off projections you've come up with yourself, is how much dollars the player has in them. That's what you want to be looking at if you're trading out non-keepers. That's what you want to be looking at if you're trading in non-keepers. Okay, how much money the player actually has in them. Now, where this comes from, this 12 round peak price difference, you're going to take a very quick look at our player forecast page. And a good player to look at for this is Nafahu White. So Nafahu White last week, we averaged at 55 minutes, the same as so we projected at 55 minutes, same as we're projecting for this week. And we projected him last week to score 47 points. He actually ended up playing 48 minutes and ended up scoring 43 points. So we weren't far off there at all. Okay, what this page is also doing, okay, so we've got him projected for that again this week with Spencer Leniu out and Victor Radley also out concussed. And then you see that he goes back to a interchange role for 40 minutes with Victor Radley coming back into the team, Spencer Leniu coming back into the team. So we're actually projecting every team for every round, every player for every round, and we're taking out players and putting players in depending on injuries and suspensions. So what you're actually seeing, 12 round peak price difference, 12 round peak loss. If Nafahu White scores 47 this week with the break even that we have for him of 24, he should go up in value about 26,000 to 453,000 with a break even the following week of 24.7. And then if he scores 36 that round, he's going to go up another 13,000 with a break even of 28.9 following it. So if we have a look through his next 12 rounds, you will actually see that this 477,000 here at the moment is the peak price we see him reaching during the 12 round period. So 477,000 minus 427 is that $50,000 peak price difference. Okay. That's the number that you really want to be kind of more focused on throughout our platform, or if you're running player projections yourself. So now that you've got that little bit of context, I'm just going to come back to our um, price break even projection pages, which is the purpose of this video. So we've got approximate break evens. You can tune all of the pages all of our reports pages into your actual team. So I've already loaded my team in here. If I hadn't, I could just click the magnifying glass, put in, let's say my team name was the Mark. I could just put in Mark, find it there, click that, and it will just bring up whatever that team is. I've already done that. It's already got my NRL Fantasy Pro app team. So I can now select only my team and I'll see the break evens for all the players in my current squad. Or I can exclude my team. So if I'm looking at it from the point of view of who are some players maybe I should take a closer look at, then I can exclude my team and get that list. You can also filter by positions. You can also filter by if they're available certain rounds, which is really handy as we start coming into the middle of the year. Minimum price, maximum ownership. Yeah, there's a bunch of filters there that you can use playing around with that as well. Highest money makers. So that's for the season. Highest money losers for the season. Our buys projected value, best buys likely round increase. I'm not going to put those on screen, of course, um, but they're quite self-explanatory. And what you need to remember, you do not want to be making trades purely based on break evens. You really want to be looking at that 12 round pick price difference. Okay. Peaking players and price drop watch list. Now, these are two very valuable players. I'll do another video on those in a few weeks' time because we've only had one round played, so there's really no data in there. But what they do is give you a list of players whose value in them is getting pretty small and whose break even is fast approaching what their actual projected scores are. Price drop watch list. If a player like Victor Radley over the next couple of weeks continues to hemorrhage money and ends up with like $80,000 plus in built up value as a result of his price losses, then he's going to start to pop up in this price drop watch list. So that's a very valuable page to keep an eye on as well. Our rankings and projections page. This is pure sorted by our 12 round projections. Okay. So basically highest projected players down. Now you can filter this by fantasy positions. You can also filter it by price ranges, by ownership, by round availability, also by fantasy positions, minimum price, maximum price. So if you're coming into mid-season and you need a middle that's priced between 400,000 and 550,000, who's playing both rounds 12, 13 and 15, well, there's your list. Nice and easy. And you can see the 12 round peak price difference that we kind of have for them at the moment as well. Um, our experts projections page. So we have two experts sets of projections at the moment. We've got Mark Jessup from over at NRL Fantasy Amateurs and also Shane Hewitt, who won fantasy in 2021 and came 40th in 2023. Rob Fung's just finding family life on top of him a little bit at the moment. Normally we'd have him running as well, so possibly later in the season we'll get him back on board to just see how he's coping with things as time goes on. So if we want to let's have a look at Shane Hewitt's projections. We can look at them by team, by role, his full player list. We can order by expected average. We can order by potential value. So if you want to have a second opinion on um, players, you can have a look at what Shane thinks. You can also have a look at what Mark thinks. So you get a broader range of projection sets and opinions just apart from just ours. Team lists page. So this is it's a good page really good page to just have a browse over each week. It just gives you a snapshot of the team, who we have playing what minutes, what roles, how we see their forward rotation going, who in the team we see as having value in them, what the ownership levels are, So it's just a really good page to browse over each team and just see if anything sort of jumps out at you that you might want to have a bit of a closer look at. Now, you notice that I can get rid of that left menu anytime, just clicking that up there. Um, that brings us down to our player forecast page. We already had a look at before with the white. We also have a very cool price break even forecast page. So let's have a look at Jesse Arthur's. Now, my thoughts on Jesse Arthur's mud. There you go. I said it. I said it pre-season. He was mud. He's come out, scored 53 points round one. Do I still think he's mud? Yes, I still think he's mud. Let's have a look at his analytics. Okay. Now, the first thing some people are going to say, oh, but the Broncos are going to be on fire this year. He's just going to kill it with tries, kill it with attacking stats. Okay, well, let's have a look. So here are his win games year to year. He played 18 games on the wing last year for 24.67 points, just under 25. Pretty much got the 4 minutes each week. Okay, they had a down year. He only had a 27.8% try scoring strike rate. The year before, he had a 50% try scoring strike rate. The year before, 2023, Broncos played in the grand final. They went all the way to the grand final. They were one of the top teams in the whole comp, the whole season, and playing 16 games on the wing in the grand finalist Broncos team. Jesse Arthur's averaged 25.9. Mud. Okay. What if he scores more tries? Okay, well, this ATV points, this is one of the stats we keep ourselves. We actually pay our own statisticians to do game stats across every game. And what this is all points resulting from try scoring movements. So in the 8 tries that he scored, if we took every line break, every tackle break, every the 8 points for the try, any meter gain points, all of that rolls up into an average of 6.54 points a game. I'm just going to flick over to game log and we can have a bit of a look at that there. So I'm going to open up round points fully. I'm going to open up attacking points fully. Okay, so in the round just gone by, he had 53 points, one try. That one try netted him 13.3 points. So if you take the try, it was probably a try for 8, probably a line break for 4. That's 12, and 13 meters comes to 13.3 points. So that's what that ATV points there is. This other PPM plays PPM without those points, which is very handy for forwards. If you want to look at trying to take out any try noise, try inflation. But just a little insight into what those ATV points are and where they come from, how they come about. So coming back over to his analytics for a sec, and the point that I was leading into, 2023, he had a try scoring strike rate of, I'm in the wrong year, sorry, 2023. Try scoring strike rate of 50%, just under 50%, and 6.16 ATV points per game. Now, let's double his try scoring strike rate. Let's take him up to 94%. So that would be an extra 6.2 points a game in try scoring points going off the same rate. That will take him up to still under 32, still mud. Okay. The thing with Jesse Arthur is his floor's too low. He doesn't have he's not a meter maker the way players like Brian To'o are. He's not a tackle breaker the way players like Greg Marzu are. So when he has low games without a try, they're real low. So going to plug some of that back into our um, forecasting page just for shits and giggles. So let's have a look at a time he had 48 points. And I'm going to be fair to him. I'm going to skip over this 19 minutes for 3 points. I'm going to pick up his next four. So his following four, he had 18, 15, 21, 35. And I'm going to plug those into our price break even forecast just to show you how that works. So 18, 15, 21, 30. So Jesse Arthurs, and those scores were 18, 15, 21, 35. 18, 15, 21, 35. So we can see here, rounded up break even of 9, scores 18, goes up 11,000, has a new break even of 28. Following week though, scores 15, so he's under his 28 break even, loses $15,000, and break even shoots up to 38. That week he scores 21 against a break even of 38, so he loses $19,000 and has a break even of 39. That week 35 against 39 drops another $4,000. So the net effect over those 4 games, you've actually lost $27,000. So it's a really handy tool for if you want to have a look at what sort of money you think a player could make or lose in upcoming rounds. You can actually you can see the opponents they have each week, and you can put in whatever score projections you like, and you can see how that flows through over those rounds. I think that's just about all we've got for you in this video. We've covered everything in there. As I said, I'm going to make another video in probably another 2 or 3 rounds time when we start having some players popping up in these peaking plays and price drop watch list pages, just to give you a run through, a little bit of a deeper idea of what's in those when we start getting some action in them. Thanks for your time, guys. Hope you have a great round. Hope you have a great season. Thanks for supporting the page. We'll catch you soon.